Hello and welcome back to another video. I am still decompressing from the semester that was, so before I hit you with a semester reading and research roundup, I thought we could do a fun little easy video. So I am in a state of constantly cycling through books on my shelves. I often donate things and acquire things. Just constant flux, you know what I'm saying? But there's a few books that I'm kind of eyeing on my shelf right now that I'm like, is it worth it? Is it worth reading this book? So I thought I would put it out there and then maybe you would have some thoughts as to whether or not it is worth it. The first book is The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton, which I got forever ago at a library sale. And I got it because it seemed interesting and it was real hype on BookTube for a while. But I have to be real careful about the the big books that I read, because War and Peace fundamentally changed me as a person. My reading life is separated into before War and Peace and after War and Peace. And so now I am deeply afraid of large books. And I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, that's really the whole essence of this video. The next is another one I got forever ago at a library sale, which is The Shock Doctrine by Naomi Klein. I always want to say Campbell, and it's not right. It's not the same person. The reason I don't know if this one is worth it is because I have This Changes Everything, which is her newest book, which is about the environment and capitalism. And so I don't know if this one is I feel like I should just read the other one and then we're good, unless this one holds some fundamental deep truths that I would be missing out on. The next one is Anne-Marie McDonald's latest book, Adult Onset, which I got when it came out on paperback 2 years ago. And the reason I picked this up is because I've read her other two books, Fall on Your Knees and The Way the Crow Flies, and those were quite a reading experience. And I thought that this one would be different. For some reason I thought this one might be a little bit lighter, because the other two books, although I did enjoy one of them, were just deeply traumatic and upsetting to read. And I really can't put myself through another one of those. I just cannot. So if anybody has read this and knows if it's maybe at least a little bit better than the other two, then I'll consider it. But I'm is it worth it to put myself through that again? The last one is one that I'm 99% sure I'm gonna read it. I probably am gonna read it, but I still have reservations that I thought I would mention, because it is Neurotribes: The Legacy of Autism and the Future of Neurodiversity by Steve Silberman. So if you don't know, I have Asperger's, which is on one end of the autism spectrum. I talk about it a lot in the latest episode of FemAF, the podcast that I have and talked about earlier. Podcast will be linked, you know what I'm saying? The reason that I'm is it worth it? I have trepidations, is because it's written by somebody who is not on the spectrum at all. Steve Silberman, I guess from the reviews that I have read, because I've researched this heavily, he is gay and he's used that as kind of a look into it. That's the way he's kind of thought about it from his experiences as a gay man, trying to kind of understand that specific type of marginalization. But also not to create a binary. You can be very queer and also very on the spectrum of autism. Hi, hello, have you met me? I would just rather read it from the perspective of somebody who is on the spectrum. But I guess there's a few books that have come out recently about the history of autism, and this is supposed to be the best one, and the one that is the least sympathetic towards the scientists who did really fucked up things. So I'm probably gonna read it, but so those are all the books that I have the is it worth it questions about at the moment. Interested in hearing your feedback if you have thoughts and feelings. But until then, goodbye.